Who here doesn't want to be their best self? Improve your life, your communication, your health, your body, your financial situation, your love life, your energy, your sleep, motivation, discipline, resilience, success, freedom, money, happiness. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but even though they sell a bunch of things that seem to help you, the last thing the self-help industry wants is for you to win.
Sleep 8 hours a day, that's a third of your life.
One decision away, one relationship, one meeting, one event.
Like this.
Self-improvement's masturbation, self-destruction.
Sorry, maybe this line from the movie Fight Club is the one that best describes this self-development universe. It might seem a little confusing at first, but after this video, I guarantee it will become much clearer.
Self-improvement.
When I say that the self-help industry doesn't want you to win, I don't mean that all the gurus have bad intentions or that they want you to fail. But for the industry as a whole, you're much more profitable as long as you're unhappy and dissatisfied. I believe there's never been a better time in history for those looking to profit in this market. In a hyper-connected world where we're constantly shown the best part of everyone, we always feel like we're falling behind, like we need to improve at something. But it's not just that.
It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable.
Self-development covers a very broad audience. Professionals, students, unemployed people, basically anyone who is looking to grow in various aspects of life. The digital world has greatly expanded the scope of this market. Social networks, apps, and online course platforms are just a few examples that have made these products much more accessible and convenient. The competitive job market has led to an increased demand for the improvement of professional skills, and likewise, the competitive market in mental health has also increased the demand for these products. You don't know how this. There are other factors too, but I won't list them all here since that's not my intention. With the video, I wanted to show the scenario that made many people wealthy and will likely make more rich in the future. The self-help market last year moved an estimated value of $41.2 billion, and it's estimated that by 2032, it will almost double in size. Go write your book, you son of a bee. Which is a profitable market, that's undeniable. But now, for those who consume it, does it really work?
Some books have the ability to change your life. That happened to me when I read this book here.
Your book changed my life. Look, I've got books I love too. Self-help books can help, but I think people mistake what they're actually doing.
This guy here is Mark Manson, author of the famous book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, a book that was a worldwide sensation and made him earn a few $1 million. The guy has already sold 20 million books around the world, and after basically beating the self-help game, he posted a video on YouTube with this title, Why Your Favorite Self-Help Book Sucks, in reference to his best-selling book. Of course, it has that sensationalist title to grab attention, but he basically uses this video to demystify the self-help universe a bit, the day, criticizing the way people consume it. And as someone who has already dived into this universe, I can say that after reading a good number of self-help books, it's pretty much inevitable to notice that, in general, they all say the same thing, just in a different way. Forms.
Fuck it.
And the thing is, there's not much of a secret. Everyone more or less knows what they need to do to achieve success. The problem is that actually being able to do what's necessary is definitely not for everyone. And the self-help industry knows this very well and positions itself right in the middle of that conflict.
Everybody say, yes, coach, do it again, do it again.
Giving you formulas and strategies that will try to help you deal with the hassle that is chasing success.
Self-help ideas are what I call simple but difficult. They are easy to understand, but really fucking difficult to actually go do. In
the end, it might even work for some people, but I don't think it's a book, a course, or any specific product that triggers the change. But it's the mindset someone has before looking for self-help. the willingness and awareness that something different needs to be done. And from there, the book, the lecture, or whatever it is, only come into play as a consequence. As the author himself, Mark Manson, said, there's nothing new in self-help. According to him, the content is simply a combination of what various authors have been saying for centuries in religion, philosophy, or science. And where am I going with this? It's that from the moment you're dissatisfied with something in your life and you go out to find an answer to that dissatisfaction, you could have found it anywhere, not just in this book that you claim changed your life.
Take Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. If you're being objective, it doesn't really say anything new. The entire book can basically be boiled down to the famous Nietzsche quote, "A man who has a why can bear almost any how."
My intention here is not to bash these books. I just wanted to highlight the idea that self-help products are a compilation of various things we've always heard around. And that, contrary to what many people think, they don't have the ability to awaken a spirit of change. At most, what they can do is guide and improve a spirit that already exists. With all this in mind, the positive effects that some people directly associate with self-help, in my view, can be explained by this spirit of change. It makes you invest time. After all, for you to read, watch, or consume any of these products, you need to set aside a moment of your day. This in itself is already positive because it leads you to reflect, to forget a little about the world that's happening, and to stop for a moment to think about new paths, strategies, and perspectives. But be careful, because self-help, when it stops being something occasional and starts to become a part of your life, can be a big problem. This is very common. A market research says that the average person who buys a self-help book will end up buying 7 more. And if you stop to think logically, if it had actually worked, that person wouldn't have needed to buy more. I will take this view. But self-help makes you feel good. It brings you relief, and a lot of people end up enjoying those sensations. That's when you come across the trap of the illusion of progress. Or, as Tyler Durden put it, not so elegantly, of masturbation. Masturbation is an immediate relief, but deep down it leads nowhere. And too much self-help is very similar. It feels like you've evolved, like you've moved to the next level, and that makes you want to keep going in this process. So you buy a new book or go watch a new video and live in this illusion of progress that happens when doing ends up being replaced by learning. World. You think you're taking action, that you're doing things that lead you to progress, when in reality you're just clinging to the easy part of the process. And that's just mental masturbation. It's limiting yourself to the realm of ideas.
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts, so he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusions.
For those who find themselves immersed in the world of self-help, personal development, or motivational content, I can think of 2 ways out. The first one is a bit simpler and more acceptable, while the other is a bit more complex and not so easy to digest. But let's start with the first one. Only consume what you can put into practice right now. Don't keep reading things you won't need at the moment. Otherwise, it just becomes mental masturbation. Be assertive in what you're looking for. Learn what your needs are for today. Because if you can't apply what you're learning today or tomorrow, it just becomes mental masturbation. It only serves to relieve a temporary anxiety, and it will make you just another one among the many who are trapped in this ideal of eternal improvement and specialization. Those people who cling to the learning process because it requires less responsibility. And you end up becoming a regular consumer of these gurus' products. And, luckily for you, most of them will keep developing products for a blind and consumerist audience that begs for more and more products. I'm going to write these 100 books falling into the trap of always chasing the next big release, believing I'm just one step away from achieving what I want, so the next book, the next course. They almost appear as a salvation for you. You let yourself be fed by the illusion that this time, things will be different.
And the truth is, your dream, your life, the things you want are just one decision away.
Question yourself, question your favorite gurus, question whether you have consumed more from this industry than you have put into practice. And above all, only consume what you can and will put into practice. Now, The second solution is the one suggested by Brad Pitt's character in Fight Club: self-destruction.
Self-destruction. You are not how much money you have. You are not the car you drive. Not content for wallet. Self-destruction.
I started with that phrase that you are not your car, your job, your bank account, because these are examples of ideals that we spend our whole lives chasing. And the people who get into this self-development are chasing ideals, like becoming a real man, a respected professional, a stronger person, and so on. And self-help will try to draw those paths for you, give you those answers, while the process of self-destruction is very different. It's about taking a step back and, before going out there looking for answers, asking why.
What come again? That's a good question. I thought you were supposed to tell us.
Why does it have to be this way? Is this really what I want for my life? Who am I? In other words, self-destruction would be like wiping your hard drive, erasing what's there so you can rethink your programming from scratch. Saying it like that, it even sounds simple, but this process is not easy at all, because it means you have to destroy the world you've built in your mind throughout your whole life. Afterwards, you might even end up in the same place, but to find out if that's really the case, you need to go through this process.
Master Wayne, you've been gone a long time. Yes, I have.
And the thing is, nobody gets into self-destruction when everything is fine. After all, why would you destroy a world where things are going well for you? What's most common is that people start having these self-destructive thoughts after they've suffered a disappointment. I think it's forced to keep insisting on common truths, forced to be common, insisting on common truths, forced to insist on common truths. And I used to believe with such certainty, but it's not really like that. Disillusionment is powerful, and it will make you go through a wave of suffering, which can be too heavy for some, but only those who manage to overcome this suffering. Only see how you become stronger each time you destroy your world, each time being given the opportunity to rebuild. The opportunity becomes even stronger, even better, even stronger still. You will realize that many of the meaningful things in life are created in these moments of suffering. And that's why I see all this positivity that the self-help industry tries to sell, like as something extremely superficial. It's not something that truly strengthens you from within. No one teaches better than life itself. And when you teaches you more than experiences do, self-help will tell you to never give up. Self-help says give up, self-help give up. And keeping yourself dedicated to strengthening an illusion only increases the size of the fall. When it happens, it increases the size. I'll tell you, it's not a very nice thing. It's not a very nice thing, considering the idea I built in this video. I hope you suffer, I do.